Hi, welcome to Mrs. Park's Algebra 1 class. This is Chapter 7, Lesson 6, Multiplying a Polynomial by a Monomial. Okay, so why? Carmen Brooks is opening a fitness club. She tells the contractor that the length of the fitness room should be 3 times the width plus 8 feet. To cover the floor with mats for exercise classes, Miss Brooks needs to know the area of the floor. So she multiplied width times the length, W times 3W plus 8. Okay, so here is a real scenario that you would use this. All right, so how would you do this? When you multiply a polynomial by a monomial, you're actually just using the distributive property. So here you have negative 3x squared, and you're going to multiply everything into parentheses. So it's really using the distributive property here. Okay. But this time you're multiplying by a polynomial. So you can do this, again, a horizontal method or a vertical method. So if you have negative 3x squared times 7x squared, okay, when you do that, it's going to be negative, you multiply the numbers, negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. You have x squared times x squared becomes x to the 4th power. Okay. Minus, you have negative 3x squared times x, which becomes negative 3x to the 3rd power, plus negative 3x squared times 4 becomes negative 12x squared. And you have, when you simplify this minus a negative becomes plus. And you have your final answer here. You can do the same thing using the vertical method, which you see here. Just like you would do a multiplication table, you have all this here multiplied by negative 3x squared. Multiply that by 4, and you have negative 12x squared. Multiply this by negative x, and you have positive 3x to the 3rd. Multiply this by 7x squared, and you have negative 21x to the 4th power. Whichever method you choose, you still get the same answer. Okay, so here's your turn. You can use the either or method. Personally, I like to use the horizontal method. And just because it's a new concept, let me just do one together. Alright, so you have positive 5a squared, and you're distributing it, everything inside. 5a squared times negative 4a squared. So negative, you have 5 times 4 is 20. A squared times a squared is a to the 4th. Okay. Now you have 5a squared times 2a, so that's positive 10a to the 3rd, minus 5a squared times 7, you have 35a to the 2nd power. Okay. Alright, go ahead and do 1b. Make sure you write this down for your answer for 1a. You can still submit it for your homework credit and come back when you're done. Okay, here's another example. Simplify expressions. Alright, so here you have 2 steps. You're going to distribute the 2p here first, and then distribute the negative 5 over here. Okay. Let's see if we can do this on the side. Alright, so 2p times negative 4p squared can be written as negative 8p to 3rd power. Okay, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. P times p squared is p cubed, plus you have 2p times 5p will be 2 times 5 is 10. P times p is p squared. Okay, then you have your negative 5 here times 2p squared. So that's negative 5 times 2 is negative 10 p squared. Negative 5 times 20 is negative 100. Okay, so here you're going to only do, you only have one like terms here, 10p squared minus 10p squared, that cancels each other out. What you're left is negative 8p to the third minus 100. Okay, and there's your final answer. Alright, so here's your turn, 2A and 2B. So just take your time, make sure you distribute everything. What you need to watch out for is a negative sign when you're multiplying. Okay, and then you combine the like terms and simplify your final answer. Okay, here is a standardized test example. Alright, graded response. The theme for a school dance is solid gold. For one decoration, Kenna is covering a trapezoid-shaped piece of poster board with metallic gold paper to look like a bar of gold. If the height of the poster board is 18 inches, how much metallic paper will Kenna need in square inches? Okay. So they're asking you for the area. The area of a trapezoid, if the height is h, is you multiply height plus 1 and 2h plus 4. Okay. And actually, you're adding. Okay, so you're adding the top plus bottom, and then you multiply 1/2 of height. So this is base 1, base 2. So 1/2 of height plus the two bases in parentheses. Okay. So instead of B1, height base 1 and base 2, you're going to substitute that with h plus 1 from here, and then 2h plus 4 from here. Okay. So you're going to distribute the 1/2 h for each one. But before you do that, you can combine the like terms here. 2h plus h is 3h. 1 plus 4 is 5. And now you can distribute the 1/2 h. 1/2 h times 3h is 3 over 2h squared. And then you have 1/2 h plus times 5, and you have 5 over 2h. Okay, and they're asking you if the height is 18 inches. So instead of h, you substitute for 18 here and there, and you use calculator. You have final answer as 531. So she needs 531 square inches of metallic paper. And if you see this on a standardized test, you would fill in the grids 5, 3, 1. Okay, so here's your turn, number 3. Here's another word problem about a cute chihuahua. So go ahead, do A and B. Okay, so here's another example, and they're making it a little bit more complicated by having an equation with polynomials on both sides. So we have a little bit more involvement here. So you would still do the same thing where you use the distributive property. So here you have 2a distributed here, and you have the 3a distributed here. You have your a here to distribute, and last you have your 2a to distribute here. Once you do that, okay, you have this long equation. Then you're going to simplify any like terms you have. You have 10a squared, 6a squared becomes 16a squared. Negative 4a, 18a becomes 14a. 8 stays the same. And on the right side, you have 4a squared plus 12a squared becomes 16a squared. A minus 8a, negative 7a, and you have your 50 here. Okay, so in order to solve for a, I'm going to move everything around so your answer becomes a equals a number. So you have 16a squared here on each side. I could cancel each other out. You have add 7a to each side. You have 21a here. Subtract the 8 on each side, and you get 42. Divide that by 21, and you get a equals 2. Now, in order to check your answers, you can substitute every a that you see here with a 2 And if it equals the same, then you have the correct answer. Okay, so here's your turn for A and for B. This is the last slide for today's lesson, so go ahead, do these two problems, and you need to show all your work, but all you're doing is using distributive property here and there, simplifying by combining like terms and finding out x equals. Okay, once you're done with these two problems, make sure you put it in your book bag for credit for tomorrow's homework, and that is the lesson for today, so thanks for watching.